So I was born in Karachi, Pakistan, which is it's the largest city in Pakistan. It's sort of the economic hub. My dad was an engineer there. My forefathers are from India. So in Pakistan, there's this sort of separation, not separation, but there's this two general ethnicities. Either you're quote-unquote Urdu speaking. Urdu is the national language of Pakistan, but if you're considered Urdu speaking, that means your family can trace their lineage sort of back to India, and that they came from India after the separation. I lived there for about 5 years before my parents won the visa lottery in Pakistan, and then we came to the United States in 1996. So I was about 5 years old. We moved to Long Island, New York. I lived there for about a year, and then we moved into the city. And I've lived in New York City ever since. It was very different than a typical high school experience. And I mean, my high school itself, I mean, it was 10 floors. When we go to school, I mean, I would take the subway for like an hour in the morning, take the subway for an hour in the evening to come back. But it was fascinating because I was sitting there in class with kids from all over the city. So it was like an even bigger melting pot within New York City, which is already a melting pot. When I define myself, I'll say I'm a Muslim American with Pakistani heritage. At first, I used to define myself, I'm a Pakistani American. But I don't feel like I understand the culture very well, but in terms of someone who was my age living there, I can't relate to everything. So I kind of don't feel like it's my right to call myself Pakistani. So to me, it's a different place. I want to go back and work there, do whatever academic field or whatever career choice I end up making. If there's any way I can go back and do some significant work there, I hope to do so. But I can't imagine living there again because I feel so connected to where my intellectual growth has been, and that's been here. Religion plays such a huge role in my life. It really is my moral compass, my framework for my thinking. So a Muslim American, I'd say I guess the baseline would be, well, the Muslim part is someone who adheres to the beliefs and the traditions that go along with Islam, whatever their interpretation of Islam is. But then the American part is sort of, it seems to be defined by where you live in America. And so a Muslim American in New York City can be very different. And that's what I experienced. Muslim Americans that I was very familiar with in New York City were not necessarily the same as a lot of Muslim Americans in Winston-Salem. For me, I guess the things that made me realize is that sense of citizenship, that sense of civic duty. But that sense of civic responsibility came from my own faith tradition when I realized Islam wants me to be a good citizen. So I'm the president of the Muslim Student Association here at Wake Forest University. And I guess you can break it up into the first and primary objective is for the MSA is to facilitate Muslim life on campus. And then the other thing was just general awareness, in that hosting events, bringing in speakers, doing campus events that get students, first it's to learn about Islam, start talking about it, and then to start engaging in the sense that it is a controversial topic, but it doesn't mean that we have to slide it under the rug. We're here in this, academic setting. This is a time where all of us intellectuals have to sit down and, we're going to determine where our country goes with these issues. So let's start talking about them. And I'm a Muslim, and I bring that voice. I mean, that's the reason, really the primary reason I chose Wake Forest, was because I knew that Muslim voice was underrepresented here.